Recorded Books presents Anything But Plain by Suzanne Woods Fisher, narrated by Rachel Botchan. A quote from Bishop David Stoltzfus. Walking the beans is an old-fashioned farming term for weeding by hand. Walking the beans isn't just meant for the fields. It's a way of saying that a man or a woman should pay close attention to all that the Lord has given them. Their family, their children, the work of their hands. Chapter 1. Something was always happening to Lydie. She was never quite sure how such mundane moments, such tiny and insignificant choices, could snowball into circumstances that could go so terribly wrong. Take today. Lydie had been late to work this afternoon, which was unfortunate because today was her first day on the job, and Edith Fisher Lapp was not a terribly understanding employer. Edith had hired Lydie to do some sewing and mending for her because, she explained, her eyes weren't what they used to be. As Lydie smoothed out Edith's new dress that needed a shortened hem, her husband Hank burst in the room on a desperate hunt for scissors. Lydie set aside Edith's dress to give Hank the scissors. While she waited for him to return, she picked up another dress that needed its hem let down. She put that one down to find Hank and get the scissors. Long story short, when she finally returned to her task, she mixed up the two dresses. When Edith tried on one dress, the hemline hung just above her knees. Hank burst out with laughter at the sight, laughing so hard he lost his hat, slapping his hands on his knees, punctuated by big, loud guffaws. "My Edie has a miniskirt." Lydie smiled. Hank Lapp's normal talking voice sounded like he was shouting into the bottom of a well. She looked at Edith to find her frowning. Edith was always frowning. Lydie's smile faded. Edith pointed to the other dress. "And I suppose that hem will drag the floor." "Well, you see..." Lydie's mouth suddenly went dry. It wasn't easy to keep her thoughts together when Edith Fisher Lapp was giving her a beady-eyed look through large, smudged glasses. She wondered if this was how a field mouse felt when spotted by a raptor. Her mind was wandering again. She bit her lip, trying to remember what Edith had just said. "Do you think this is funny?" Looking at Edith's face, Lydie rather thought not. Even Hank tried to settle down, though his shoulders were still shaking with laughter. "Never mind." Angry red stains began to trickle up Edith's round cheeks. "I only hired you as a favor to Bertie. Everyone says you're an accident waiting to happen. I should have listened." Lydie cringed. Such a small thing. But no doubt the whole town would know about the incident before long. She shuddered to think of how the story would fly and grow with each of Edith's retellings. On the walk home, she pondered how to tell her dad. This was her fastest dismissal yet. She couldn't bear seeing the look of disappointment on his face, such soul-wrenching sadness. Lydie. Startled, Lydie had been so preoccupied that she hadn't realized she was passing by Black Gold Farm, passing by Nathan Yoder. "What's wrong?" He closed the door on the phone shanty to approach her, peering down at her with his warm, concerned blue eyes, as blue as a bluebird, as blue as the ocean. She had to look away from those beautiful blue eyes. "Oh, I just had a tiny sewing mishap with Edith Lapp." "Can it get straightened out?" An interesting choice of words. She hadn't dared tell Edith, but the way-too-short hem in the back of the dress was also crooked. Lydie had to swallow a smile. "I don't think so." Other than having to tell her dad and Bertie about the mishap, Lydie wasn't terribly disappointed. "I like to sew, but not that much."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?